Hey, so I just got this package in the mail, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I haven't opened it yet. And I'm pretty sure it's from my friends at Happy Herb Co. And they saw me talking about coffee and herbs and that again, and wanted to send me some special herbs. So this isn't paid advertising. I did actually work for this company for 7 years while I was studying my bachelor in health science. So from the time of about 2006, 2007 to about 2014. Um, these guys are the OGs. They've been doing the whole herb thing before it was trendy on social media, and always have things that are just the best. You know, even like their Blue Lotus, their Damiana, everything they get is like they've been promoting herbs. The whole thing is about promoting and appreciating the use of herbs, and it's where I get a lot of my passion from herbs from, especially the more ceremonial uses and ritualistic uses, because it's more that like underground mycelium vibe. So let's see what I got. One of the main things that they were sending me, Laura was sending me, was the Kava. Like some of you guys might now have seen Kava um, trending and coming in as it should be, because it was banned for silly reasons, like lots of other herbs have been, but it's back. And the fact is that now that it's back, you'll get a lot of the common, just your common kava that comes through. Kind of like when you get coffee, you can have instant coffee, and you can have like just that one brand, or you know, your Cadbury's when it comes to chocolate. But then when you start looking into it, or even in cacao, you get like from Peru, but it's like it's a massively made. But if you get your chuncho, or you get something else. So the kava that I've got here, they have got, this is my first time seeing it as well in person. They've got an instant, which is great because that you just add water. But these are all noble kava. These are all from one area. So the difference is there's an instant one, which means you can just add it straight to water. And then the other one is the ground down root. So something a lot of people don't know about kava is that it's actually the shaved, like you shave the root, and it's that inner root. And that was part of, if you look into it being banned, it's a whole thing around that, but I'll go into that in another one. But there's another one here, promotes a cerebral experience that may lead to hints of euphoria. So these are all from one area, but these are single cultivars, so they're different varieties. Kind of like when you look at our friendly medicine with the flowers, there's a lot of different strains of cannabis, and it's not just one size fits all. It's not just like the stone is one. It's like in the world of cannabis, you can literally find a strain where you're you'll get creative, or you'll get sleepy, or you get pain relief. It's not just one. So until you really drop into the sensitivities of yourself with the plants, a lot of people don't notice it. It's kind of like you can drink different coffees and have different effects, or eat different cacaos and have different effects. So it's really exciting that this is coming through, like the kava, because kava is, it's anxiolytic, so it's good for anxiety, good calming, good for muscles, the skeletal muscle relaxant, and it has this beautiful connector frequency as well, kind of like the mushrooms or the cannabis, or those plants that connect us with nature, connect us in traditional, a lot of the traditional cultures that do use kava, is to connect with the ancestors. So this one, the Kaylee, is a cerebral, uplifting, enjoying during creativity, reflective processing, quick onset, and shorter duration. That's so cool. I really love it, because I've used kava in my herbal medicine practice, and one of the things that I found, there is research, you can look it up, where they did research with kava in comparison to Valium or diazepam, which is, you know, one of those highly prescribed things. Rightly so. We live in a really stressful environment. However, what happened was, over 5 weeks, the kava was as effective as the diazepam or the Valium. But after the 5 weeks, when they stopped it, the reflex anxiety in the Valium or the diazepam, that reflex came back. So it means they got the anxiety when they stopped taking the medicine. So they stopped taking Valium after 5 weeks, anxiety came back in. Whereas the Kava group, when they stopped having the Kava, they didn't get the anxiety back. So you can check that study out, which is to do with like GABA receptors, where your GABA modulates your nervous system. So it shows whether your nervous system should be up and going or down. And a lot of the times, like in society, when you have anxiety or something, that GABA is a bit out of whack. So Valium actually goes into those GABA receptors and shuts them down. So you calm down. Now I'm relaxed. Now I'm going to sleep, or and yet you might have to continue to increase the doses, or might become addictive. Whereas with the Kava, it actually has this nourishing effect to the GABA, so the GABA becomes more effective. Those receptors become more effective. So that's why afterwards, after you've had the download, the 5-week download of actually getting that herb into the system's better. It's been nourished. It's been supported. So this is like, I haven't seen this in Australia. I didn't even know it existed, but you only really find out all the different varieties once you really drop deeply into a plant. And because Kava's been restricted for so many years, there hasn't really been that opportunity. Like I've always been able to get some and utilize it and use it for the Kava lactones, like medicinally. So I get a really good quality specifically for clients with anxiety, or to help support in different addictions, or coming off certain substances as well. But having this like this mellow, which is really fun. You can picture it in the Islanders, right? They had that like smiling, loving culture, whether it's in Hawaii or Fiji or Vanuatu. This is all from Vanuatu. It's that happy feeling. I'm from South Africa, and Africa, I know also the Africans and the Zulus, like always so happy, singing, dancing. So when I see Kava, I think of like that Islander culture of how happy they are. I mean, coffee grows there, cacao grows there, Kava grows there, vanilla, like it's all these delicious plants. So this particular one here is an interesting balance between cerebral and muscle relaxing, creating a mellow yet uplifting vibe. Onset and duration considered mid-range. So, I mean, these ones are all it's so cool. It's kind of like going into a specialty carver shop or a specialty coffee shop and getting that selection. Um, and then it does come also with, they also have these straining bags. So cover essentially what you would use with water, and you put it in one of these socks. It's like a sock so that all the root matter doesn't get into the water. And then you just like rub the bag and you allow the water to turns like a milky light brown. And then you have this liquid that you're drinking that calms and kind of numbs the mouth, and it's got a really nice calming feel to it. I also find that it's one of being a connector. It also depends on the environment you're in, because essentially it's taking away that anxiety, it's taking away that stress, and when that stress is gone, you're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to relax easier. You're going to be able to have fun more. Potentially, you'll be more aroused as well, because once the stress goes, we're actually really adaptive beings. Stress can be such a heavy load on us. So I've found that if I have kava and I'm with people and they're drinking, even if I'm not drinking, I can be happy and lively. And if I'm with people who are chilling out, vaping some flower, then I'm also just chilling with those guys, and I can be focused. And then it is really great for sleep. Just as a medicine, it's calming to the nervous system, does such great things. You don't need to have a lot. If anything, you have small amounts, even if you're not noticing it that much, and you just consistently have it, and overall you'll notice that the stress washes off. If it's like you're wanting to have a big hit, then also do it respectfully. Do it in a ritual. Like, yeah, get some friends around and actually go, let's sit and drink kava and let's see what happens the more we drink. And actually sit and chat and actually make music and do the things. Same as like any plant, really. When you're going to take it in large doses, like make space for the plant to express itself through you, which is what these plants are doing. It's not about, I'm going to eat this and now you do this to me, plant. Why are you not doing it to me? No, it's like, how clean is my body? How much awareness do I have for this to come through? So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of kava plus the instant. So yeah, check them out. I'd highly recommend it. Like friends are already saying to me, the more I'm talking about kava, again, because now that like the legalities have changed, you can sell it. People are saying, oh, you can see it at Woolworths and you can get it wherever. So you can get it. But if you really want to tap into it, check out Happy Herb Co. Because like I said, they've been doing this for a long time and they source things, and everything from their packaging has information on the plant. It's compostable packaging. They literally they'll tick all the boxes, and it's only really now that they're seeing them like get at more into the web, the cyber web, where they have had shops pop up all over the place promoting herbs. And there's probably not any person that I know or within the scene, especially in Australia, that's talking about plants or working about plants that hasn't had some interaction with the Happy Herb Co. over the years, and it was previously known as the Happy High Herbs stores, which when I worked in it. So I was like an expert at getting high, essentially, naturally. And high is also that range. It's not just what people think, because you could be high on coffee, or you could be high on ecstasy, or you could be high on LSD, or you could be high on cannabis. Like what? Like it's the high is the range. It's literally a vibration being lifted. You could be high just from making love or doing yoga. Like but knowing the range and the sensitivities of your own experience, that's how we navigate with these plants. So she has also been so sweet to put in some tea strainers, which is really delicious, and a few samples of these smoking blends. Now, when I was working in the herb shop, I was a bit of an expert on the smoking herbs because I've been a smoker of tobacco since I was like 11, and then of cannabis since I was like 13. Not all the time, but it's kind of like I was on search for those alternatives to give me something other than it. And like I've made in other videos, there's no alternatives. However, there are ways for you to um, heal that relationship. And a lot of these smoking blends by themselves, they're really nice. If you're used to smoking really strong stuff, not that strong. However, you can mix them. You can have the blends, which so good. It's so good. Like you have to look at it like this. So if you're a tobacco smoker and you're used to your nicotine hit, and you might want to cut back on your tobacco use, right? Which would be a good thing to do. By adding small amounts of these, you'll start to notice that the experience changes a bit. So you're used to having your nicotine, your tobacco experience, and then you'll feel this little sway within the experience. And same with cannabis or with the flower, that there's this cannabis high that most people are used to. But with adding these other herbs, they all have different terpenes, different essential oils, different active ingredients that can really change. It just allows you to kind of create the type of experience you're wanting. So what do we got here? We've got Pussy Power, which is, I'm guessing, really powered by catnip, which is a plant that I've just made a video on as well, which is one of my favorite herbs. It's a potentiator. You can see there's some blue lotus in there as well. So my thing with this is, sure, you can smoke these on their own, but you can also, if you are a smoker, you can blend them with whatever you're smoking, and just start with a little bit of this so it's not too much, and then you go, oh, that's not nice, it's so different to what I'm used to. Little bits at a time, and add in and notice the experience come on. If you're not a smoker and you're like me and you use a dry vaporizer for your medicated flower, which is essentially, it heats it to a point where it just releases all the oils from the plant, so there's no combustion, there's no smoke. These can be used in those, and can actually be used with your meds, like with your flower. Then there's a daydream which is beautiful. And these are all cool. Like even these sample packs, you know, they have these little barcodes right there to get all the information on each of the plants, which is so great because that's what I used to do when I used to be in these happy herb stores. I would be in the store and I'd be telling everyone about each blend and every herb. And like that was my passion. That's what I love. You learn about all these herbs and then you learn about the synergy of mixing them together. So essentially these blends are crafted by happy high experts. And I'm giving this information of how you can open yourself into these blends. Also, these blends, I'm presuming, would also have things like mullein, which are certain herbs that have been used, even combusting, even smoking, to help with bronchitis, help with asthma, things like this. Yes, you can smoke herbs that will help with those things, but also you could have them as tea. So a lot of these you can have as smoke and as tea as well. Just so good. And then there's like an Astro Adventure, which is a really beautiful. I'm guessing would have the Kalia and it would have mugwort for dreaming. So I'll be trying these guys in my dry herb vaporizer. And just to be clear with that, the vaporizer is not the liquid stuff that you see people doing, and that's totally different. That's glycerol, that's whatever. Vaporizers have been around for a long time, and essentially it's a heating process to release the actives from different herbs. And they also sent me some blue lily, you know, blue lily, the sacred blue lily, or what people call like the blue lotus. Um, I mean, I've been working with this plant for 15 years, and it's also because of the Happy Herb Co. because they've had it in all sorts of forms. I mean, here's a blue one. Has anyone seen the red one? They have a red one as well. So now that these are becoming popular within this small little ecosystem that we have within our world, this is the place. This is the place to check out. Like if if you're looking to experience herbs and learn about herbs, like this is the company. I'm not saying that because they sent me this great bag of treats. Like when I started working for one of the shops, I my first session that I worked there, I worked for product and I just started exploring while I was like on that edge of the herbs. So the variety that they have and the information that comes with it because we need to have the wisdom that comes with these plants and it's not just from a point of we're telling you this to sell it, which is what else to see with the whole lotus thing to a certain degree. It's like it's a lily, is it a lotus? But it's like Egypt must be lotus. So there's truth in it and there's sales techniques that you can see when you're on social media. Whereas I can 100% vouch for these guys. They've been doing it for, I think, 30, 40 years. Um, I'm good friends with the founder, Ray. He's a cool guy. And these guys, I can honestly say that this company changed my life because it allowed me to live my life for 7 years while I studied my Bachelor in Health Science to be a medical herbalist. All I was doing was working in a herb shop and then studying herbs. I used to ride a big Ruster skateboard to work in Southport, and this company has been doing it since then and promoting, polling governments, keeping herbs legal, keeping people aware of the herbs. So I 100% support it, not just because of their ethos, but because of the quality that they get, how they look after nature, and the variety. You know, some people go into Woolworths and be like, "Oh, Kava, yeah, I saw that in Fiji." And it's like I knew that there's Fijian Kava and that there's Vanuatu Kava, and the Vanuatu Kava was a lot stronger. So in my head, I was like, "Oh, there's those two types that you readily can get." Whereas this is from Vanuatu and the single cultivars of different ones with different experiences, which is just so amazing and something that's so needed within our society. And even this has different characteristics. This one says roast roast peanut, black pepper, chocolate. This one's balance of smooth, creamy, but bitter, peppery with notes of black pepper, wood, and toasted malt. Can you see that it becomes this? It's another realm. Like, sure, kava. Some people go, yeah, I drank some kava and it tasted like dirt when I was in Fiji. It's like, that was your little tourist adventure. Don't think you know kava, because I've known about kava for 20 odd years, used it a lot, and I'm just learning that there's other cults of it. It's kind of like burning frankincense. You're like, oh, frankincense. And then you realize there's a whole range of frankincense, different types, different grades. So just knowing the plant is one first step. And the next is actually, what is that plant's family? So there's so much to learn. And that's something I love about the herbal medicine world, is that it's a process of learning and knowing, and always holding that I know enough to know how little I actually know, and we're continuously learning. So it's a beautiful process. And the last thing that's in this box is the Happy High Herbs book by Ray Thorpe. Look at him. Look how happy that guy is. He's a legend. He's the godfather of the herbs. And it's a book that I would buy. I have it. I still have one of my original copies. And when I worked in the store, I read it. Like, I read it all the time. And I was always surprised when other staff would start and I'd be like, they'd hear me do a spiel to someone. They're like, how do you know that much about it? I'm like, did you not read this book? Like, this book has herbs that Ray discovered years ago, which inspired him to start this shop, that have effects that are amazing, that are quite popular. A lot of them are quite popular now, but there's also ones that you may not have heard of that are in here, and great, like, references of like the experiences and how to use it, how not to use it. Like, just letting you know about the plants, a beautiful foundation to start within this, in this world. And again, changed my life. Obviously, I've also built on that with my own studies of the science, but this is that find the herb, do your own research, the herbal law, and then, yeah, with the intention of spreading it out to the world and getting this information out. So yeah, definitely check it out, because I am just loving how much is available here. Like, really have a look in here. Wow, beautiful. Even have a, yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Probably going to talk more about kava. Definitely going to explore more kava, and I might even try some kava in my coffee, because that's how this conversation started. It was like kava coffee, and here we go. We'll go on to this one. How a lot of people will automatically make the assessment they're not qualified herbalists, right? They'll automatically go, oh, kava makes you sleepy, coffee makes you high, like energized. They must conflict. It's kind of like that same with cannabis, you know. But think of when you go to Amsterdam, everything's in coffee shops. So the two go together. Like, when you find the effect, like having a hypnotic, something that's going to put you to sleep, like Jamaican dogwood, or like a really strong passion flower, or even hops, can have a interaction, because one's going to really be making you sleepy and the other one's not. Well, kava's not about making you sleepy. It's about taking the stress away, getting you back in tune with that island time, that Irie vibration. So you're happy and you're jolly and clap in. So the coffee can go really well with it. Well, see, I haven't actually had coffee, because like I said in other videos, this is actually my first time I'm really into coffee, and I'm really enjoying coffee, and also all the different varieties. And then the combinations, like I've spent the last 10 years doing different combinations of herbs with chocolate, because I love chocolate so much. And coffee is opening up that different space of getting out there. And when so many people are drinking coffee, which is such a high, like, adrenaline kicking in herb, there's no wonder we also need to calm our nervous system. So where best to start than with herbs that allow us to support our natural ability to calm as well. So if If you've enjoyed this video, let me know, comment, like, send me a message, ask me questions. I'm so passionate about herbs and I want to talk about them forever. Big love.